Goes without saying that my mother feels completely beaten by life. But now I've joined in, like I share her sentiments when it comes to me. I gave it a good fight, but now I'm just like, remember what I was promised by Cheryl? Don't worry, Laura, your mom's not going to be on her own. They're going to make sure they have someone checking in on her and whatnot. Nope. The insurance or whatnot won't pay for it. And you know damn well Marion won't pay for a goddamn thing when it comes to that. Marion couldn't even take my mom to get a fucking phone. Because Marion didn't feel like it. So my mom walks a mile and back, a little over a mile and back, and sets up a whole new service. It's just such bullshit. It's just... Because Marion, who lives right down the street and who wasn't working that day, didn't feel like it, said you can wait a few days to have a phone. Meanwhile, my mom had been pushing and pushing. My phone's not working. Oh, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. I can't be bothered. You know, I can't be bothered. Of course you can't be bothered. Because as far as I'm concerned, she doesn't really care. She cares about the prize at the end. She cares about the ultimate prize at the end. She cares about the elder control she gets to have over my mom. She cares about fucking me over, of course. And then the ultimate prize. Sick. Anyway, the nurse that was coming in, then it won't be coming in anymore. No one will be coming in to check on my mother. Like I was promised would be the case. Remember? Cheryl said, don't worry, they're not going to leave your mom on her own. Yeah, they are. My mom was in the hospital for 3.5 months. No one's going to pay for her to be checked in on. So, whatever. Said, learned helplessness. Marion's laughed at me all along. Nothing I've said to her, nothing I've done has fazed her. In the end, she knows. She's the one with all the power. I have absolutely fucking nothing. Anyway, like my friend said, I need to try to find a way to get far, far, far away from my mother. Only just see her once in a while. This little thing seems innocent enough, right? It's actually a very decent movie. I fell asleep though watching it. It fell asleep on the floor. Because remember, I'm exhausted at all times. I'm barely hanging on now. And I don't fucking care. Joe's disgusted with me. I'm not even going to contact him anymore or bother. Anyway, this lying around, instant tip-off that I'm here. They know that Mary's coming over today, my mom's social worker. Marion stops by whenever, you know. She might come in, she might not come in. She could come in because she has to go to the bathroom and whatnot. She's taking care of this other guy. Yeah, just like she latched onto a woman here, and then the woman left Mary and her house and her money, and it's just all bullshit. Back when my mentally ill aunt was, you know, alive, and Mary didn't feel like going to visit her in the nursing home or wherever, and I was in LA, my mom would tell me all this shit, and my mom would be like, yeah, she spent all her time with this woman in the park and whatnot. Yeah. Because the ultimate prize is the woman dies and leaves you everything you fucking greedy cunt. You know, it's probably going to be the same with this guy. Marion seems like she's so wonderful, but I don't believe it for a second. And when push comes to shove, neither does my mom, because my mom used to hint at things to me when I was in LA and going through my own shit and whatnot. I don't care. I don't believe she's doing anything out of the goodness of her heart. If she's lying through her fucking teeth about me, she's done it in the past in regards to that fraud adjustment shit, okay? If she's being nice to even my mom, if push comes to shove, she'll say it. My mom's not an idiot. She's, you know, and Marion gets in on these old people, and then she hopes that they'll leave or something if they croak. You know, it's not rocket science. I cannot stand that bitch. But whatever. More than one person in that shelter thought I was way younger than I actually am. They couldn't believe it. I said, the woman, I mean, you know, I said to her, because I go, she goes, you're 45, oh my God, I thought you were in your 20s, and I'm like, yeah, I act young. She's like, no, you look young too, okay? And she had no reason to say that, just not trying to get on my good side and whatnot. She's the one who's pissed me off before, and apologized, but in any case, Marion's approaching 60, and I am 45 and look 30, so fuck you, Marion. But yeah, not that it matters. It's a basket case. Can't even get laid by somebody decent again when I'm this much of a basket case. Notice I said somebody decent. I don't want to just get laid by any old guy for any old boring reason. This is a good movie. I fell asleep watching it, and luckily I even said to my mom, I said, Mom, because I realized last night, I'm like, because I'm going to keep it again. My mom and I can watch it tonight earlier. And by the time I went to the store, and I got some yogurt, and I got this movie, and I walked home, and I left the library earlier. I got to have 8 hours on there. That was awesome. That was awesome. To not be limited to a mere 2 that goes by in a heartbeat. I brought my lunch with me. And I might have been eating it at lunchtime, but I ate it before I left, and then I came home. I ate a little too much. That's alright, I'll cool it today. I get tempted by the cream cheese my mom buys with butter, you know, shit I shouldn't be eating. My mom's having no problems, by the way, if anyone's wondering. She's not, you know, doing anything crazy. She's shutting off the stove because it checks. She's, you know, I'm not yelling at her. She saw her psychologist. She did get me a release with him. And it just says on it, for purposes, verbal communications, so daughter is uniformly kept informed, you know. I can't really read his writing, but in any case. But I still want her to get it with I'm just going to go over Mary's head. Seriously, I'm going to go to her boss. If she blows me off, and I don't care if I got one with her, my mom's psychologist. Charlotte said just because they have a release doesn't mean they have to honor it. It means they can. You know? But the more releases, I want releases with everybody. It limits Marion's power. The more people that know that my mother doesn't want me shut up, the better it is for me. I said, I want it with your regular doctor too. Well, I can't see him. I'm not seeing him till August. Yeah, because the bitch will only bring you on one stupid day. And, you know, the doctor wanted to see you immediately, but can't because, you know, the bitch only helps you out when it's at her convenience. Even though she could bring you other days, she won't. Oh, but it's not elder abuse, is it? No, Laura's crazy. Laura Laura doesn't care about her mother at all. Laura's just after her mother's money. The funny thing is, cutthroat lawyers or whatnot, I've talked to lawyers in the past, and they've outright said to me, even if I didn't love my mother at all, I still would have a right to fight this based on the fact that it's my rightful inheritance. The law is very clear on that. Half-sister versus blood daughter. Only child. You know? It happens to be the case that everything Marion does in regards to my mother makes me ill. You know, because I love my mother and it just makes me ill. Just even the fact, you know, it could have been winter. It's not. But Marion... And then my mom wouldn't have walked over that over mile. She just would have been like a good little girl. And you can wait a few days for her to have a phone, you know. Like, doesn't care. She doesn't care. It was her day off. She was doing yard work. She didn't care. She lives down the street. And my mom got mad at her. But what's the point? Marion laughs and my mom gets mad at her. You know. Don't think I don't know what's going on here. It makes me ill. It makes me physically ill. But for those of you who say that, your mom's old, leave her alone, her sisters protect that, whatever, a lawyer would disagree with you. I've talked to free lawyers periodically over these years, okay, since I found out about this shit. It doesn't even matter if I love my mother. She's my mother. I am her blood daughter. The law is very clear on that. Even if I didn't love her, I'd have a right to fight Marion for my rightful inheritance and for things I know my mother wants, but she's now too afraid to ever put into place when it comes to protecting me, her only child, okay? So fuck you, the people who say, well, she's your mother, leave her alone, she's old, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work that way in this world, okay? That's not how it works. I am this woman's fucking blood daughter, okay? Blood daughter. Marion is her fucking half-sister, okay? I told my mom, you better ask for release. I was supposed to get that in the hospital. And she was like, well, she's going to wait till she gets out of the hospital, whatever. You know, they didn't do it. I wanted it done before my mom even got out of that goddamn hospital. I'm going to go over her head. I'm going to type up a letter to her boss. I'll find out tonight what happened. I'll find out tonight what if she just blew her off or whatever about the release. Told you I don't think she's very competent. Just the fact that goddamn message, that's so unprofessional. It was months later in the same long drawn out message. Today is December, blah, blah, blah. I am not going to be in the office, blah, blah, blah. But if you can, it went on and on and on and on and on. Until finally you can leave a message. And it was obsolete. It was months later and she didn't bother changing it. Even after I told her, I even left a message. This is when I was leaving her messages, so I know she doesn't like me. But I don't fucking care because I don't like her. Okay? She knows the truth and is perpetuating Marion's lies. I don't like her at all. And when I called, she knew that I'm the one who helped my mother. I can't tell you what you know. I can't discuss your mother with you, but I don't have a release. Click. Why do you think I was desperate to get the release after that? I fucking, oh. But anyway, I went over her head because I even told her about the goddamn thing and it wasn't changed for a couple weeks. I decided one night I was pissed. I wasn't going to write. I wasn't going to call her anymore, and I didn't. I kept my word because it was pointless leaving any kind of message with her. I just communicated through Cheryl. I kept my word. But the last thing I did, it leaves a number for her boss. I called her boss and said, it's very unprofessional that this message from over 2 months ago is still on Mary's machine. And guess what? Oh, actually, I guess that wasn't when I decided not to call again, but whatever. In any case, the next time I called, it was changed. It made me feel like I had a tiny bit of power anyway, even though I don't. Because the woman wouldn't even fucking tell me where my mother was because there's no release. You know, it's just sick. And then when I try to get the release signed, she blows me off and blows me off, you know. And Cheryl's like, I can't force her to do it, you know. But she promised me you'll never be, not know where you might, yeah, whatever. Her promises mean shit to me. Especially with Marion's influence. Her promises mean fucking shit to me. Okay? And no, it's not enough for me to just have it with my mom's psychologist. I want her to have, I want a release with her regular doctor. I want a release with her social worker. I want all these people to know that my mother, you know, what Marion says is not true. My mother loves me. My mother does not want me shut out of her life. Period. Can't stress more. Can't stress any more than I already have. Marion is not court appointed. She is not my mother's legal guardian. This is all just Marion decided this. It's not by any judge deciding it. Marion decided it. And my mother went along with it, and then you give Marion an inch and she took a mile. You know? My mother didn't know. Can't go back to therapy. If you listen, if you watch my videos, look what I left in their general mailbox. I can't go back there. What's the point anyway? I don't see the point in anything anymore. Barely hanging on. Yeah, so there's not going to be anyone checking in on my mother. The thing with the phone proves to me what I already know anyway. Marion can't be bothered, you know, even when things are important to my mother. I used to be livid all the time in LA hearing all these things Marion's doing. My mom broke her glasses, couldn't even see. Mom, you gotta contact Marion after, I don't want to bother her. You know, like, what's she there for, Mom, huh? Just to ultimately put it, you know, steal my rightful inheritance right out, you know, out from under me, but not even, you know, just do the bare minimum when it comes to, you know, Beth doesn't care. If Beth cares, then I'll get back to the shelter and there'll be a message from me that she's sorry. I bet there'll be no message. She's sorry that she blew me off. Something so important to me. And I had stressed how important it was to me. Stressed it to her. Light in me anymore. There used to be. Joe doesn't understand. People are gonna lie about you, Laura. Yeah. People are gonna lie about you. But in this case, what Marion and the social work and the, and all this is just unacceptable to me. This isn't some little lie. This is just something I cannot tolerate. Not when I could have just taken off. That's the thing that gets me. You guys know, watched my videos during those 8 days of hell. I wanted to just leave. My mother I would listen to her on the phone lying through her teeth to her friends about me. Especially after I called the cops on her, she's like, I should call the cops on you. She went crazy, and I wasn't safe. She could accuse me of elderly, she could accuse me of anything, but in the end, I stayed because I couldn't. I had visions of her burning her house to the ground, and then I'm made out to be the culprit. I'm forbidden to ever step foot in my mother's house again. I have to sneak around like a friggin' animal. It just, I can't tolerate it. I can't tolerate it. This little video, if I had left it out, anyone perceptive would instantly know, because my mother doesn't get red bugs. I have to be so careful. The smallest things could give me away. Like I said, it could ultimately get caught anyway, but maybe I won't get caught instantly. Stupid idiot social worker actually believes what Marion says. They cannot force my mother to sell her house. Based on what? Based on what? Based on what? Remember, I didn't cause any kind of commotion with the neighbors or whatnot. These 8 days of hell were contained within here, within this house. There was no swearing and yelling. There was no noise outside this house. Sound, you know what I mean? They cannot force my mother to sell her house because she has her daughter here that the woman in the front office doesn't like, okay? Doesn't like, based on Marion's, that I left notes. That's not illegal, you understand? They're just fucking with my mother's head. But the fact that Mary believes it is just like, The fact that Mary believes it shows me she's not very bright. She's incompetent as far as I'm concerned. I've thought that before. You have to understand, if I had done something illegal or something, you know what I mean? This is all based on, this is just bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It's Marion in cahoots with the woman in the front office who doesn't own this park. She just runs it. She's just a freaking employee, okay? In cahoots. In cahoots when it comes to fucking with my mother's fragile mind, It's not rocket science. I have a perfectly clean criminal record. And if anyone caused commotion, I mean, Mom put all her garbage out too late, and then it sat out there day after day. They didn't like that, but she did it. And I wasn't going to help clean this house. I wasn't going to do anything, because if the house was spotless and Cheryl and Mary, Cheryl finally got incompetent Mary because she didn't listen. It took all those days for her to finally, I was calling and crying to Cheryl every day, and Mary finally listened, okay? Finally. And, of course I wasn't going to, but Mary's son's like, well, you could help her clean it up. Yeah, if I could help her clean it up, then if it looks spotless, they'll be less likely to get her the help she needs, less likely to section her, okay? I had to leave it as it was. After I'd been through those 8 days of hell, I was not going to come face to face with Mary, and I would have punched her in the face. She would have been like, look at this, you need to clean this up. You've been staying here with your mother, and then. Fuck you, you fucking deceitful piece of shit cunt. You've never in your life experienced what I went through with my mother for those 8 fucking days, and now I'm being blamed for it all. Of course that's gonna just... give up. There's no hope in me anymore. There's no light. There's nothing. I don't want to fucking even be here anymore. At all. At all. You people who don't fucking have a clue don't understand why Marion has all this power over me. She wouldn't if she didn't have all this control over my mother. You understand? If things were different in that respect. If she was just another family member of mine who was jealous, who couldn't stand me, or what, but it's not that way. And it fucking kills me, okay? And you can tell me till the cows come home, well, you need to deal with it, you need to accept it, you need to just move far away from your mom. My friend said, this is never gonna change between your mother and Mary. Yeah. You're probably right, it isn't. And I'm never going to be normal, and I'm definitely never going to be in love or have any kind of normal relationship or whatnot, so you want me to feel hopeful. It ain't going to happen, baby. I'm done. It's a miracle I still had hope in me after all the shit that happened to me years ago, but now I'm done, Just the fact that I was starting to feel the tiniest bit normal, the tiniest bit whatever, with Bobby and Bex and whatnot, and then look what fucking happened. I'm plunged into another fucking traumatic nightmare. I'm done. I am fucking done. It's a joke that I can write the way that I write, and I'm shitting this life. It's a fucking goddamn fucking joke, okay? It's a joke. A joke. A joke.